need this on, sweetie.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I don't know these out the way. Okay, explanation of benefits. I've given everyone a copy. I think Linda does not have a copy of the EOBs that we're going to be discussing. So, Linda, why don't you look on with Yesenia? Use hers for the time being. Share with her, and then let's go over that. EOBs, explanation of benefits. Why is explanation of benefits beneficial? I want to miss none of this. All her beautiful graffiti.
I clean this one over. I use this spray to clean this board.
Yes. I just want to use this right here. It explains what they're being charged for. Exactly. Who's being charged? The patient. Okay. So it explains what the patient benefits.
It also shows what they did to you,
Okay.
procedures or tests.
Well, it shows details of the procedures performed. Okay. All right. Who gets a copy? The physician. The physician gets a copy, and
Patient.
the patient. Exactly. Okay. Now, from a provider standpoint, physician standpoint, for all you guys that do what you do when you're reading explanation of benefits and you're posting. And what I mean by what's needed, like medical records. Proof of SOAP notes for data service. Okay. So sometimes after you post, you can expect what they owe. I said once before that in the insurance arena, when claims are finished, claims process completion. What are the three results? PPD. Give y'all a hint. I know it. Pay. What's the other one? Okay. Pinned and what? Deny. Pay, pin, or deny. Okay. So a lot of times when EOBs come back, you have to post what was paid out. If they're pending, you have to interpret what's being asked or what's needed. If they're denied, you have to understand why. What will help you understand why? It's called edit messages. Okay, so let's look at some edit messages. Search or scrubbing. You can remember what I said about scrubbing. And it's not the song by TLC. So in the end, some requests.
And they're gonna come back and
Recoup that money. That's right. Yes, ma'am. They're gonna recoup that money. So when you're scrubbing, you're spending majority of your time, once you finish your finding out little mistakes, according to what the EOBs are saying, if there are any mistakes, okay, you're going to be like the private investigator. Remember, I said in this profession, it's a good thing to be nosy. It'd be very good to be nosy. Okay, so let's look at this first EOB. I'm going to bring it up close to the screen here. So to get a good picture of this EOB, I got it off the internet, so it's a freestanding example. Okay, all the wonderful things on this source. Okay, all right. So now this says an explanation of benefits retained for tax purposes. This is not a bill, so a lot of times you'll see where it'll say this is not a bill. Okay. The subscriber has an test member, but we know subscriber is the same as what term? Policyholder, right? Okay. Subscriber ID, that's important. Group name, Kroger's Sugarland, Southwest region. It'll always have a designated number to identify which Kroger's are you speaking of if you're working for that type of corporate setting. Okay. And now, it says here the date of the claim is June 18, 2015. The amount billed was $493, oh, $25. So looking at this, it may have meant that she maybe didn't have the copay amount at the time of service. Okay? So normally when a patient and you like, they're good. So obviously they just said, okay, we'll let you pay later. Okay, so this is what it comes out to. So the date of service of the claim, what does the date of service mean? What does the date of service mean? The date that the patient was seen. Okay, all right. And so do you all see in very fine print, there's a procedure code 99205 for medical service. Do y'all see that? Okay. And so remember I explained there's a difference between procedure codes, diagnosis codes. Diagnosis codes tell what? What's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? What's the matter with the patient? What's wrong with the patient? Okay. Procedure code tells what? What was done to the patient or what the doctor did? What the doctor did. Okay. So for 99205, it is billed for $493.28. Pacific Source discount is $109.13. Okay, a little bit. A reference code meaning at the bottom. Can somebody read out to me?
Charge exceeding maximum allowable of this service.
Okay, so charge exceeds maximum allowable amount for this service. Okay. Pacific Source paid provider $359.15. The copay amount is the patient's responsibility. So we see at the end that there's a $25 copay that the patient, that's the patient's name. But if it was Sally Sue Walker, you're going to go in Sally Sue Walker's records and you're going to post for that particular date of service that Pacific Source Insurance paid $359.15. Now, the Pacific Source discount, okay, usually there's another term for that and it's called adjustment. Adjustment. So I'm going to erase some of this. Do y'all want to take a picture of it? Why erase it? Price adjustment. And the Pacific Source pay the provider, that's the contracted rate. Remember when we talked about par provider and non-par providers? Remember we had that discussion? Okay. So what does it mean by par provider?
The They accept Medicare?
Well, they don't just accept Medicare. That's good. You're talking from the discussion group. That's good. But part providers are participating providers that agree to accept a procedure code. Okay? All right. So par and non-par. Par, let's talk about that for a minute. Par, non-par. Non-par means accept the insurance policy. Okay? Non-par does not accept a contracted rate. It is paid at reasonable, have insurance, may have called and listened to the disclaimer where it says reasonable and customary. And I think I talked about it once before in that last subject where my video got cut off. I was really upset about that, but that's okay. It's really a hidden marketing strategy for the physician, okay? Meaning that they get listed on their site. They get other perks. They get listed on their site. They get other perks for being a par provider with that company that they sign a contract with. Okay? And they get return of pay quickly. Okay? When it's non-par, it's just the opposite. Reasonable and customary could mean that the insurance can pay up to 80% or up to 70% or up to 60%. Whatever is reasonable and customary in that geographic area. Okay, does everybody understand that? Okay, alrighty, so let's look at another EOB. And remember, now, going back to this original one that we were looking at, did we find any other reason to scrub through this EOB? Do we need to inquire or ask a question of the insurance company how this was paid? I think pretty much self-explanatory, right? Okay. All right, let's move on to Anthem. Got another EOB off the website, Google, freestanding EOB that's used by example. Okay. Alrighty. Now, subscriber's name, it left it blank. Those hospital. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. The place of service is outpatient class. Maybe it's my other class. Where the place of service codes are found inside on the inside of your CPT books. Like place of service 11 means office. Wasn't his class. And I teach at other schools too.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't his class. Okay. So that's something we'll visit. Or Miss Wilson would like to visit with that. All right, so the amount paid is $312.47. It is not your responsibility to pay the $104.15. Let's look at that. For data service, November 21st, 2013. Now, instead of them using percent, ladies, is everything okay? Okay. So mammography is $51.50. Patient savings program is $365.12. Patient savings is $91.28. So altogether, the claims payment for both claims came out to be $312.47. We see here that $104.15 is the patient savings. Patient savings, what's the other one that has on the first claim here? Discount, they all mean the same thing. So let me write that on the board here. Adjustment, patient savings, discount. There you go, thanks. All mean the same lingo. Does everybody understand that? Is this means what this is what the insurance company is not paying. Okay? So if you see any of these terms, same or similar, this is what that means. Okay? Everybody got it? That's what that means. Okay. Do they have an edit message? It has an edit message of O1 on line 1, mammography, and it has an edit message of O1 on line 2, screening mammogram. Do y'all see how those edit messages are? Like I said, sometimes they happen in letters, sometimes they happen in numbers. If it's O1, this is the amount in excess of the allowed expense for the participating provider. The member, therefore, is not responsible for this amount. You can learn more about services. Okay, so it has a star message, and that is telling what that X means. Okay, so we know that O1 says that this is in excess of what the allowed amount is for the participating provider. So this is what part providers are willing to accept as a contractual pay. Does everybody understand that? Okay, very good. So I'm just trying to that. Okay, let's look at the third EOB here. Okay, so now we have the data service, March 20th, and it looks like to be 2014. Description medical care. Okay, now this is something generic that they really made up. We'll just go along with it. Claim status says paid by the insurer, $2.15. Then you have provider charges, $375. Allowed charges, $118.12. And then it has paid by the insurer, $83.12. So what do you owe? The patient owes $35. So what it's doing here, allowed charges, is saying, and they pay very low, very cheap. I'm in it here, okay? Paid $85.27. And there's a difference between $85.27 and $120.27, which is $35. So the patient owes $30. The remark code at the bottom says billed amount is higher than the maximum payment insurance allows. Payment is for the allowed amount, which isn't very much.
Like one unit,
$8.
for the monthly unit, for like 4 units, $570. But that's what the amount that is charged. But they usually pay about 293, 300 and something on 570.
Wow.
But for one unit, if you had maybe like say the 10th through the 15th, you have like 6 units, say $8 a piece.
Oh my God, that's not very much.
Yeah, so that's why.
And that's with Medicare?
Single units, like That's why the doctor really asked for like 4 visits in the dialysis because he did the most of those, most allowed. But I said, what can I do when the patient is in the hospital or not? So we just gonna have, like I tell them all the time, it's better to get started than no one. Because if I send this claim and this patient is in the hospital, they're gonna deny it because they're gonna have a hospital claim. So I'd rather you get a little money than don't get no money at all.
Isn't that something?
It is.
Mm.
Where it works.
It works. My God. Talk about workers' compensation. Okay, let's talk about work insurance stuff. The company's insurance, definitely, is never your personal health insurance, but it's the company's workers' comp insurance that pays for it. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so let's talk about that. I used to be a workers' comp adjuster. I found it to be very interesting because when they weren't honest.
My sister is a auditor for workers' comp. She works for travelers.
Okay.
She's an auditor, so she has some working compensation. So
Yeah.
I always watch her and listen to her do her stuff with her claims. People are just so dishonest.
I know, isn't that sad?
That people are actually
Watching you. Exactly. Exactly. Isn't that sad? And they get a bit too comfortable when they're at home. They don't think people are watching them even at their
doing
home.
stuff you're doing that you're not supposed, that you say you're not supposed to be doing.
That's right.
And somebody outside taking pictures everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
You jumping and running.
That's right. That is hilarious. I remember my days of listening to depositions and stuff, and the attorneys and stuff would go at it. It's hilarious. Okay, so a date of injury. We always have to have a date of injury. And then once that injury is began, you have to have an initial report. Now, initial report is usually done by the employer. And given, all right, so you need this date of injury, you need the initial report. And back in my days, at 72, tweak 72 or tweak 77, it's been a while. Okay, now what's most important for you guys as billers, you're going to need the name of the insurance company, name of the workers' comp insurance company. Okay, you're going to need that. You're going to need, sometimes or not, with the claim number. Okay, a lot of times you're going to call the adjuster. Call the adjuster for treatments, such as physical therapy, whatever therapies is needed. TX. TX means treatment, not text. Okay. TX means treatment. Okay. Now, once you have that, sometimes you have to have a subsequent claim, and I think this is along with a quick 77. Okay. Um, it's been a while since I put 2005, so don't quote me on it. Okay, so subsequent claim, and then if there's a settlement, if there's a settlement, what is the impairment rate? Anything that's 5 or greater will be awarded different. And I'll explain what that means. Anything that's 5 or here in settlement. Okay? This is contingent on all their doctor's care, all their physical therapy. Um, that's what that's contingent on. If the person goes into deposition with an attorney and the patient will get whatever the settlement is that's substantial for their life, and they will get lifetime care basis comp, meaning 5, 10, 15 years from now, the workers' comp insurance company is going to always pay for their medical care. Remember, we talked about branches of trees. Remember where if you have diabetes, diabetes is your tree, right? And so this is a straight tree. Everybody see? Sometimes it'll branch off hypertension. Sometimes it'll branch off congestive heart failure. Sometimes it'll branch off COPD. Sometimes it'll branch off edema. All these are underlying conditions coming from the main tree. Does everybody understand that? All right. So if that patient develop any other underlying conditions from the main tree of injury, that insurance company is going to pay for it for life. Does everybody understand that? And it has to be 5, 4, 6. And the doctors say they fine, they can work part-time. They might get some sort of settlement, but they're not going to get too long of a lifetime care. Okay, they may get it for like a year or two, maybe. Okay, so let's look at some things here. And it's always important that the patient follows up with the doctor. It's always important that you take good notes when you're doing this. Okay, occupational injury form. I think everyone may have seen this in the packet that I passed around. Okay, this is real important. This is an example of the classwork that I printed up here. Okay, so that's always first and foremost. Diagnosis codes are basically used the same. Now, back in the day, when we did coding for workers' comp, we usually code what these codes are different. Back in ICD-9, you would always put the injury code as the initial code, and then everything else used to begin with E. So we always knew if this was a workers' comp claim that we're sending to an insurance company, it begins with E, we knew that that was an injury claim, workers' comp claim. Okay, now you're probably wondering, what if this was not workers' comp, but this was somebody that fell off, except you would not use a TWIC form at all. You would do steps 1 through 5. I'm not sure about impairment ratings for personal insurance or property insurance injuries, but they work somewhat the same. You need the adjuster's name, you need the claim number, and everything else. Okay, and so when even gets hurt on your property, putting up Christmas lights. Gotta be careful. Everything else on here is pretty much self-explanatory about workers' comp. It talks about the different laws. Do y'all have any questions for me as far as workers' comp? It's pretty easy. Some of y'all might come across the workers' comp claims, some of y'all might not. Okay, but at least I want you to be familiar with the information. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it's what, 7:03? We're doing good with time. Okay, so it's 38 minutes. So we're gonna end the YouTube. Thank you. Now it's starting to want to have disconnection problems. I'm done now.